Here we go. Welcome back, folks, to another Fireside Chat Triple B. It's been a little bit. I've been gone for a couple weeks here. I've been sick, and the market's picking up, as these guys know. Market's picking up, so I've been busting my ass off, to be honest. But we're back. We got a lot coming, so stay tuned. But today's episode, I got two of my really good buddies. We got Brett Reinhart and Nick Thiry here with me with Fairway Mortgage. You guys want to just introduce yourselves and kind of tell a little background about who you guys are?
Go ahead, Brett.
All right, absolutely. Like Brady said, Brett Reinhart, Fairway Mortgage, have been in the mortgage business for coming up on 4 years now.
Wow. A little round of applause for that.
Thank you. Yeah, 4 years. It feels like I'm still new, but like 4 years is a long time. I mean, it's crazy. I've been doing this for as long as I have, and obviously the whole time I've been with Nick as well. And so, we've been at, Fairway is the second company we've worked for, and we're still pretty new at Fairway. I mean, that's more like 4 months now we've been at Fairway.
4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5 months at this point, and so, still, getting our feet set in there. But it's been great so far, and I guess just talk about.
Yeah, talk about your family, man. I mean, you got a pretty big family.
I do. I have a large family at this point. Just kind of
physically and like.
That's true.
And physically,
a lot of people. Physically, and a lot of people. So I grew up around here. I grew up in Chanhassen, Minnesota. So I've been around the cities. Even went to school over at Northwestern St. Paul. So I've never been further.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Never been further than 30 minutes of the cities, really. And so love Minneapolis, love St. Paul, love Minnesota. Could never leave it. And so grew up around here. Like I said, grew up in Chanhassen. Family's kind of spread out at this point. I'm in Golden Valley. My brother's in St. Louis Park. I got one full blood brother. He's married with 2 little French bulldogs, which great dogs, health hazards, but they're great dogs. And then I have family. My mom lives out in Minnetrista now. I got, a ton of family kind of all over the place. And I got, like I said, I got one full blood brother, a step brother and stepsister. They're both married with kids. And then I got half brother and half sister who are both older with, my brother has 3 kids, and the oldest is like a senior in high school now, which is kind of crazy. And then my sister has 2 kids who are a little bit younger, and so big family. A lot of variants of siblings, if you will, with the half brother and sisters and step brothers.
Made you a well-rounded man, though.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly.
It's a good way to put it.
It's fun to have a lot of family and a lot of different family. I mean, even step family, newly acquired family, if you will. And so,
for sure.
We did a little bit of a merger, if you will, between 2 different families. So, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, well, you've been in the business for 4 years. You know what I was doing 4 years ago?
I don't.
I got my license 4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a big year for me.
We're not talking real estate license either.
We're talking driver's license 4 years ago. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's right. We all got to
start
somewhere, right?
Yeah, right? I guess. All right, Nick, you want to kind of introduce yourself?
Yep, my name's Nick Thiry. Work with Fairway Mortgage. Like Brett said, we recently moved over there 4 or 5 months ago and are doing really well. Business is thriving, as you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Love the platform and what they have to offer. As far as my personal life, I'm married, have 3 kids, just had our third.
Congrats.
He's a newborn, 4 months.
Yeah.
Beckett James Thiry.
Yeah. Let's go.
Girl's the oldest at 5. My son's turning 3 in the next few days, and then newborn. So between work, family, that takes up a lot of my time and consumes my life, I'd say, altogether.
For sure.
Other than that, big sports fanatic, love to golf, love the outdoors, hunting, fishing, stuff like that when I can, which is, I don't have enough time for it, as I wish I did, but it's all good. Really looking forward to this year. Business-wise, there's a lot to be excited for. We're getting through the winter here. Rates are coming down. Hopefully inventory opens up a little bit, but there's still that huge buyer pool that we've seen the last couple of years that are just waiting to get into a home.
Yeah, totally.
Refis should come back a little bit maybe second half of the year.
Yeah.
And people can tap into that equity too on the cash out side, like as homes keep appreciating. So there's
For sure.
there's a lot of opportunity on the lending side that we're fired up about.
I mean, you're always gaining wealth when you own a house, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
just how
right.
it is, you know.
That's right.
When you're
That's-
renting, you're not really gaining much of anything. So
Well, you're getting your landlord's wealth.
yes,
So,
so
Yep.
let's always keep that in mind. People that are renting, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, reach out.
absolutely.
But son's birthday, come 3 days, you said?
January 31st. Yeah, we're celebrating
Wow.
on Saturday.
What are you guys doing?
We are. What are we doing? We're going to Sky Zone. You guys ever been to Sky
Oh.
Zone? Yep. Bringing a bunch of kids over
Yes.
there. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
I just was looking at some Snap memories, and I was at Sky Zone 3 years ago today.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
That's great.
How come we're not catching that invite? You know,
Yeah, I was with my ex-girlfriend and her little brother, and God, those were the days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Living.
But I was
Just living.
still 17, so like I was still
Yeah.
pretty old to go to Sky Zone, but whatever.
Eh,
Now I
you
go
never
to the
be-
casino.
never too old.
Now I go to the casino for fun. So.
There you go.
Blackjack? What's your game?
Blackjack. Yeah, no, so I don't know if you guys saw a post last week. I had this one client no-show me 3 times in a row, right? And I met her in Forest Lake every time at the Starbucks, and I'd sit there for about 45 minutes, and she wouldn't respond, and then I'd call her, and she'd answer. She's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, whatever, let's try next week at this time. I'm like, sweet, whatever. But that first time she no-showed me, I went to Running Aces, made like $600.
Dang.
Next time she no-showed me, I'm like, fuck, gotta go back to running. Made like 400.
Dang.
Wow.
So I'm like, dude, set another appointment. No-show me, please. Like,
Yeah.
went
Double
to
up.
Running Aces, made like $300. I'm like, this was
Unbelievable.
perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
this-
I don't
wow.
even care if you
If
buy.
I'm not
a house.
making money in real estate, I'm going to make it on the
Yeah,
blackjack.
but
Yeah,
now it's even better because
absolutely.
she just signed a buyer rep contract. So like,
Oh,
now
great.
we got the shit's rolling.
Yeah,
So.
there we go. Hey, so you made $1,000, got a buyer's rep eventually. It all
So
worked out.
It did all work out, but you just got to keep trying. But yeah, that's cool. How old is he?
3, turning 3 now.
Turning 3.
Damn. It's a good age.
That's-
Getting up there.
crazy.
Through the terrible 2s.
Yeah, yeah. Big hunter and
That's fair.
fisher. I did not know that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm kind of a diehard bow hunter.
Yeah,
Love to bow
yeah.
hunt.
Did
That's
you get
the-
anything this year?
This year I just shot a doe.
I shot 2 does. So
Saw
yeah,
some
no, I get
really
it.
nice bucks. Really nice bucks. I hunt a lot of public land, and
Yep.
if you're willing to work for them, they're there.
Yeah.
It's just
It's hard to find them.
hard to find them. Yep.
So I live up in like the National Wildlife Refuge up in
Okay.
Sherburne.
Yep.
So I public hunt out there a lot,
Okay.
and there, and then the Elk River Golf Course. I hunt out there, and I shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been out there since I was like 5, so
Dang.
I'm a well known out there. But yeah, I shot 2 doe at the course, and then I missed a buck this year out on the Sherburne National Wildlife
Tough
Refuge.
shot.
Mm.
No, 25 yards, hit a tree.
Broads.
Ooh.
Okay.
I have the arrow, the broadhead's still in the tree. Like,
Dang.
R.I.P.
it is. But yeah, no, bow hunting's amazing. I love it. This necklace I have on is actually an elk tooth. Believe it or not.
Wow.
I
That's pretty sweet.
shot an elk when I was 6 years old with my uncle.
What?
My uncle is a professional bow hunter from Matthews. He went all over the world. He's got a giraffe, like all this
You gotta
stuff.
be kidding me.
Yeah, like
Wow.
he taught me a
Impressive.
lot about hunting, and unfortunately he passed away about 6 years ago from a lymphoma. But I got the necklace to remember him by,
Cool.
so it's
Very
it's
cool.
cool to have that. But yeah, no, my goal is to go out next fall and go bow hunt an elk.
Nice.
So
That's on the list. We'll get out
I
there.
like it.
We'll get out there.
oh, it would be a blast.
Yeah.
Would be an absolute blast. But yeah, no, hunt and fish, and I love that. We can definitely relate on that.
You bet.
For sure. But,
Mhm.
you guys talked about Fairway Mortgage. That's where you guys are at now. When I first met you guys weren't at Fairway Mortgage.
Nope.
You guys
It's
made the move over to Fairway Mortgage. Talk about Fairway Mortgage and kind of what they have to offer. What was the selling point for you guys to want to be employed?
Yeah, I would say, at the end of the day, mortgage company is a mortgage company. I mean, it's relatively the same thing. I think the biggest difference is, typically speaking, and this doesn't always relate, but it's the people you surround yourself with.
Totally.
And depending on what level you want to bring your business to, there's people out there that are very, maybe not quite as motivated as, say, Brett and I are and looking to build something special, but we want to take it to a high level, and Fairway definitely provides that platform. And it's a great group, high producing group. I think, what did we do, a little over 300 million this year?
306 million they did.
Yeah. And it's only, I think that was roughly a dozen sales staff, so it wasn't a
Wow.
big group.
Right. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So it's like
that's
everything's
crazy.
there, the infrastructure, operations, and it's a younger group too. Roughly I'd say 25 to maybe 35 on the top end. So
Right.
so everybody's in growth mode, moving in the same direction, and that was a big draw. We were looking at other companies as well, but they were head and shoulders above the rest, and
Yep.
I think that why we started looking for a change. Brad, you may have your own take on it, but for me personally, being there for many years, we were very loyal, stayed there for a long time, and don't want to throw out names or anything like that, but we felt a little stagnant. We needed change as far as adding some more support and people that were motivated and wanted to grow something.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's easy to be complacent, and especially in a challenging market, right? Just kind of settle and take what comes to you, and we're trying to be aggressive.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, absolutely. I think Nick kind of like nailed it. I mean, I think I'm a pretty loyal person in general. Like Nick was the one I first met with when I got into the mortgage business, and so when Nick came to me and was like, "Hey, I'm making a change," for me, it wasn't even necessarily about like the company. Like he said, like mortgage companies kind of are mortgage companies to a certain extent, but a couple different mortgage companies that I know he looked at and like maybe we looked at as well. But like, he told me that he was leaving, and from there it was kind of just like, well, where are we going?
Yeah,
and so it wasn't necessarily it wasn't too hard of a sell for me, just because, I mean, like I said, I would have been where we were forever if Nick felt like that was the right spot. But because he's mentored me and kind of taught me the mortgage business, I was like, well, if he feels like it's time to go somewhere else, like I'll just trust that that's the right move. And like I said, we've been doing this for we've been at Fairway for about 4 or 5 months, and just the 4 or 5 months we've been there, it's really a world of difference.
Did you expect that big of a difference when we were making the switch?
And that's I don't know. We had a couple conversations. Like we had a couple conversations with Oliver White, who is kind of the head of our team, and just hearing him speak was kind of like it sounds like it's way different, but like how different can it actually be?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is the grass really greener? That's what I always went through in my head. Is like, okay, am I just trying to believe it's better, or is it actually better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, it was like truly like head and shoulders above. Just it felt like anywhere, just because like purely a lot of it was basically the support we have, just kind of the processors and the partners we have that like help us through loans. It's like night and day. It's like they'll answer questions like 24/7. It feels like. And they'll, even if you ask like a corporate, branch support question, it's just like, hey, how do I do this in our system? It's like 5 minutes. Like I legitimately emailed somebody a question on the weekend, and the CEO of Fairway, Steve Jacobson, emailed me back 2 minutes later. It was like, hey, our team will be right on this.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh, no kidding. Like
it's different.
It's different. It's like it just feels different. Like it feels like everyone like they want us, to be there, and like they want us to do like. To hit the ceiling and break through it, essentially. That obviously the sky's the limit, and so.
Yeah.
And a fun fact about Steve Jacobson. So he's been in the mortgage business for a long time. Actually, a couple fun facts. He played for the Badgers basketball way back in the day.
I didn't know that.
Which is pretty sweet. Yeah.
That
was definitely a red flag right out there. But secondly is he was a loan officer for many years, and he runs a show now. So the whole company is really tailored to the loan officer or the sales staff, right?
Yeah.
Where sometimes it kind of like what I felt like what we were seeing with other companies is it's not necessarily tailored to the sales staff. It's an integral part to the business, but not necessarily the focus. Mm-hmm. And maybe we're biased as being on the sales front, but
probably.
As long as the sales are there, the rest will take care of itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of the mentality behind it, where you can get caught up in the noise and the distractions, and there's a lot that goes into the mortgage side of things behind the scenes.
Totally.
So he's always been a big proponent of LOs.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that you said, Nick, that really stood out to me was that you're surrounding yourself by people that want to better the whole company.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm here at EXP. It's like I went on about 30 interviews when I was getting my license.
Really?
I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go. And sitting down with Tyler and listening to him talk and hear how passionate he is about, the business here he's trying to create and everything EXP has to offer with all the collaborations. I mean, I can text Daniel DeRoche, one of the top agents in the state. He's going to come on the podcast here, a little preview to another podcast down the road, but like, why would he even want to do that? Like, it's because he wants to help me create a better business. Colton Whitney out in California, one of the top agents in the country, sat down with me for an hour over a Zoom call and talked about time blocking because he wants to help me generate my business. It's like, that's why I'm here at EXP.
That's unique.
It's You don't find that anywhere. I'm surrounding myself around people that want to help me because it helps them and it helps our business grow all together. So that really stuck out with me, that you said, like, surrounding yourself by people that want to make you better and make everything better.
Definitely.
Because it's huge. You don't find that a lot.
And EXP's kind of, that's kind of like, in their reputation, that's what I hear quite frequently, is a collaboration between groups. Everybody's looking to help one another. Yeah. It's not necessarily the old school mentality where, you have some secrets, you want to hold them close to the vest. Yeah, so keep it in-house kind of thing. It's more of an abundance mindset, and helping others grow.
Yeah, I mean, we had one strategy. We have a newer agent, Corey Brenner. He walked in second week on the team. He was teaching a training about this new strategy that we've never heard of. And we all use it now.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like,
must be a good strategy.
It must
be.
Right.
So it's unique, but you don't find that.
You want to air that out on the podcast here?
Maybe not. Maybe we'll make people pay for that episode or something.
Yeah, it's the premium.
Yes.
$9.99.
Might have to be on OnlyFans for that episode or something.
There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, we'll get a monthly subscription. It'll work out.
Yes. But no, we are sitting here and we're technically kind of all our own business in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
We're all 1099 employees of our own business, and that's a big challenge.
Mortgage guys are actually W-2.
That's huge.
Not.
Okay,
but it's the
same aspect of you're your own business and you got to create your own business.
Correct. Yeah.
With that aspect, there's a lot of challenges that you face when you're getting your business started. I mean, I've been in the business for about 4 or 5 months now, and I mean, I've found a lot of struggles. Like, there's a lot of hurdles that I got to face and jump over and try to figure out how to do this. What were some of those challenges that you guys faced when you were starting your business, whether it be 4 years ago or I don't know how long you've been in the business?
Going on year 8.
So 8 years ago, like, I know there was challenges that you guys faced.
Yeah.
So what were some of those things that you guys were doing to, overcome those bigger challenges?
This is going to be a long podcast. I could go on and on.
I was going to say.
Right?
You want to go ahead?
I'll start just because, like, when I started, like, where we were, there was a ton of, like, leads that, old leads that had been sitting there for, a year, 6 months, a year. And Nick was just like, hey, like, you don't know anything. And truly, like, he wasn't wrong. I didn't know anything about the mortgage industry or barely anything about real estate before I got into it. I mean, I was 22 when I first started. And, he was like, here are these leads, like, go call, like, see what you can do. Obviously it's like some of these people were like looking to buy a house a year ago. Some of them were looking to buy 6 months ago, like 3 months ago. It's like, but there's thousands of them. So it's like, hey, you have all these opportunities, like, just go try to learn the dialogue essentially, because it's like, you don't know what you don't know. And just by talking to people who are looking to buy houses and looking, or like it's like they ask a lot of questions. And so, like, the more questions you get, the more questions you can ask somebody who knows, and then you learn that and you don't forget those things a lot of the time. And so for me, it was just like basically just calling. I mean, I was just cold calling like hundreds of people a day because I had 8 hours in the day and I had nothing else to do. And so it was like 200-300 calls a day just to hopefully get a hold of like 10-15 people a day. And like a lot of the time it's like, yeah, we already bought a house, we're not interested anymore. And then every once in a while it's like, yeah, we put it off, like, then you maybe have an opportunity and they're like, well, what about this and this? And I'm like, well, I've been doing this for all of 3 weeks, I have no idea. And so you learn to, like,
those are all purchase leads.
Right, purchase leads, true, yeah. And so, because this is 2019, I mean, where were rates? Like 4s, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
like,
probably mid 4s.
Yeah, and so, like, when we hit like 4% or 3.75 for the first time, people were like, this is the best.
Oh, it's wild.
It was wild. And so, and then we obviously had a couple years of even lower, but which was even more wild. But yeah, I think just like, I guess the biggest thing that got me through a lot of my struggles was, just trying things and talking to people and like trying to learn as much as I could. Because I'm like, I know things are going to be tough and I'm going to struggle for the first like 6 months, whatever, like however long it takes. But like, because I just like don't know anything. And so all I try to do is just try to get to know as much as I can. But like, you don't even know what questions to ask because it's like, I didn't know anything. And so it's like, how do I know what questions to ask if I don't know what people are going to ask me? And so like just going out there and talking to people who are in the situation or have been in the situation or were looking at some point was a huge, like, I guess, hurdle that I got over that helped me learn the business. It felt like way quicker just because I learned how to talk to people on the phone, like, being a 20, it's 2023, like who talks on the phone, right? But but we, our business is all about it. Like that's all we do. But like, I think everyone gets so used to, and for me too, is like when I was 22, it's like I just text people. Like I hated calling people, and all of a sudden it's like now I talk to people.
Are you a Gen Zer?
I'm like a zillennial. I'm a 96 baby, and so like I think the cutoff's like 96, 97, and so like I'm like somewhere in the middle. But either way, it was like learning to talk on the phone, just getting like how to like talk to people about mortgage, like learn about like what I'm actually selling and what I'm actually like saying to people. And like how to actually like do my job better. Like I think that was like just the biggest struggle, because it's like when you, like I said, you just don't know what you don't know, and so just learning as much will only help like for the future. Like if you can learn, then every conversation moving forward is just going to be easier because it's like you know what you're talking about.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. I've said that a lot. You just don't know what you don't know, and being newer into the real estate, world, there's some stuff that I just don't know, and it's not like my fault. I just don't know it yet.
Oh, for sure.
But you ask that question, like now I know it. So next time I get that question, I will know it. And it just takes a little bit of time to figure everything out. And I'm sure there's stuff that you hear that you just don't know even yet.
Learning every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day. Things are always changing. And that's kind of the beauty of the business too. It's because there's never a dull moment. You always have to adjust, adapt. The market changes, the regulations change, the products change, the consumer changes. There's so many different things there. But when I think back to when I started, I believe I was 24 years old when I got into the business. And when I was hired, I knew nothing about the mortgage business, generally speaking, right? I was hired at a company that was essentially a cold call refi shop. I was making 150, 200 calls a day to these cold, shitty online leads, which is fine. I was looking to do whatever it took to build a somewhat successful business. Like I didn't necessarily understand where the ceiling was or where the different levels to the business were, but I was fully invested. So there I was, calling leads. Did pretty well. I remember I started in November, had my first closing in December, and then I had maybe 5 or 6 January, 5 or 6 February, and I'm like, holy smokes, man. I can see where this can be, something long term from a not just an income standpoint, but sustainability and I think building an organic business. But when you start, you don't have past clients. You don't have a network, typically speaking, right?
Yeah.
So where do you get your business? You better build that network fast or have something like leads to call. So that's what I doubled down on, was the leads at the time. After doing that for a couple of years, we switched over to more of a purchase model where, yes, there's purchase online leads, but also started to realize this is going to be a relationship-based business and and relationship-based game. So getting out in the marketplace, meeting new people that want to move in the right direction, that you align well with. And for everybody, that's a little bit different. That was really kind of what I set out to do at that point in time. But there's no quick way, in my opinion, to just get to where you want to be in this business, depending on what your goals are. Like, it takes time, and that's maybe the most frustrating piece to it all.
Totally.
Yeah.
But through reps, through consistency, you can accelerate that learning curve, to hit whatever goals you want, which is, that speed may be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter for folks. But I'd say my biggest hurdle was, number one, putting the right network in place, because you got to meet a lot of people and kind of like filter through those people to see who you mesh well with and who's going to, kind of like be by your side in a sense in growth. Yep. And then as you get that past client database, we're like our our goal has always been, it's like a race to 300 past clients. Once you build a database of 300 past clients, that's when it becomes a career instead of a job.
Yeah.
Because they, not necessarily they take care of you and you get all this business organically coming in, but there's much more to the business at that point.
Yeah.
And not only are they referring business, but coming back for, say, a second go around, they need to purchase a new home. You did a great job for them before. They may want to refi. And through those transactions, you also build a lot of good relationships in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
No, I totally agree, for sure. I've said it, I think, every single podcast I've had. Real estate is a relationship type business. Mortgage side, any side. You're creating relationships with your clients, with other business partners. It's the only way to be successful. Like, you have to have good relationships in this business.
You can turn and burn leads, but the ceiling is so much lower than the relationship side.
Yeah.
Right.
And more taxing. I mean, that's way more difficult.
Right? Like, and then at that point is you're just looking for the money. Like,
Right.
those clients
That's
are
the
just
only thing.
numbers.
Yeah.
Where, like, I try to make my clients, like, they are my clients. Like, you guys, we're going to be friends for forever. Like, I want to help you get into a house, and then, like, let's go 3 months from now, like, let's go get a beer, like, afterwards, you know, or a lemonade right now.
I was gonna say a beer.
Yeah, we're almost to 3 months out till I can have a beer, so
Dang.
we're getting there.
What do you got going?
I'm not 21. Yeah, no, I can't
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah,
I've
Brett's
never had
still
a
waiting
beer.
until 21.
Yeah, that's true. I'm turning 21 in a couple years, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what
We'll
I heard.
See. We'll see.
I'm doing dry January, so I thought you were alluding to something like that.
No.
Nope,
But I
I
can
just
say-
legally cannot have a beer.
He's just doing dry life until he's 21.
Yep, never had a beer.
Your first beer will be here soon.
So,
First one ever.
First legal beer.
yes, but so with relationship type business, like, we go out, we meet people. Us realtors call them like lender meetings. I'm sure you guys call them like agent meetings or whatever it might be on your end.
For sure.
But we're always meeting with people, meeting with each other, and gaining that relationship. So it's easier for us to do business together. Where I can call Brett, and it's not just like, hey, can you, like, help me on this deal? It's like, hey, man, you know, how you been? Like, how's life? You go to a T-Wolves game, like, whatever. Like, we have that relationship already where it's not, like, awkward. Like, we can just be upfront with each other. And that's something that's really beneficial. But you guys have probably met with a lot of agents. I've met with a lot of lenders. You know, what are some really good questions that, like, us as agents can ask lenders? I mean, everyone's like, most lenders have roughly the same kind of programs, right? You might have one or two that are
Relatively
like,
speaking.
yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's got the 2-1 buy down rate. Everyone, like, everyone's got that stuff. But what are some questions that us realtors and anyone, you know, watching that might be a real estate agent? What are some questions that we can ask you guys that might make us stand out?
You know what? That's a difficult question to answer because I'm sure this is like the setting. I'm thinking about, okay, it's the initial, say, coffee meeting or grab lunch or happy hour, something like that. How can you best get an idea if that person is going to be a good fit? Mortgage company, again, is typically a mortgage company, right? From a product standpoint, rate standpoint, whatever. You know, as long as they're in that competitive space, that's obviously one thing to look for. But as most are, you know, I think it personally comes down to the individual. Can you trust them? Do you like them? Do you feel like they have integrity and have, I'd say, the best? Do they treat your clients, or would they treat your clients the way you'd want them to? In a sense where it's not necessarily they're just looking for a deal from you to get a quick close, something like that, get a cash or commission check kind of thing. I think it's just looking for the right kind of person that aligns with your values and your kind of your kind of person, I guess. Maybe that's not the best way to put it, but
kind of fits your personality in a way almost.
Because you know, you could ask product questions, rate questions. You know, they might tell you they work around the clock, this and that, and you don't really know until you get into the weeds. But I think everybody has a pretty good read, and as far as like intuition, as far as, you know, is that a good person? Is that somebody I mesh well with? Do I like spending time with them? And it's would you like spending time with them outside of business too? Like because that's kind of as your clients are relating to them and having conversations throughout that entire process. Like and trust is everything, in my opinion. That's the most important piece to it. and the integrity behind it all. So that's my 2 cents on it. It's more of a feel type of thing than a silver bullet with a couple different questions.
Yeah, I mean, one thing Tyler, my boss, always says is, if you have your clients that know you, like you, and trust you, it's going to be an easy transaction. There's going to be no problems. There's going to be transparency throughout the whole relationship. So I think that's huge. Same with the lender side. Like, I know you, I like you, and I trust you. Like, I'm going to send you like my grandma and grandpa as leads, and I know you're going to give them everything you can.
For sure.
And that's just because we've known each other for so long. I mean, like, we've had a relationship outside of business probably more than we've had almost inside of business.
Totally.
Right? We've played a lot of golf together. We've went to Timberwolves games together. Like, we've created that relationship outside of the business, which is great.
Right.
And that kind of brings back to your point where it's like, me and Brett felt like we're a good fit even outside of work. Like, we don't need work to hang out. Like,
totally.
Yeah, so it's huge to have people like that in your business as partners. So
yeah, no, I would just reiterate. I mean, I think that's kind of how I see things as well. It's like, I mean, I don't know if there's a specific question. It's more just like, I think if all they see, like, if agents, all they want to do is talk business, and they want to talk about like, hey, like, what kind of programs can you do? Like, what can you tell me about the business? Like, there's always good conversation. Like, you want to talk about like who you are, like, what you can do. Like, obviously it's like, hey, yeah, I'm available all the time. Like, which is kind of true. Like,
well, and it's like, if you're not available all the time, like, you're probably not in the right industry, right?
Right. Yeah. And
we can close on time every time.
Yeah.
Well, that's step one.
And we do FHA loans.
Yeah,
like, and so like that's the thing is like, I think realistically, I like when I go to meetings like that, it's more like, who are you? Like, like, why are you doing, like, what brought you to real estate? And like, basically like, where did you come from? Like, what, basically I like to learn like where people are from, like, why they do what they do, like, what do they like doing outside of like work? Because like I said, it's all about a personality fit. And like Nick was saying, it's like, you can work. I think part of the best part of this industry is you get to work with whoever you want. Like, you can work with whoever you want. You cannot work with whoever you want, essentially, to a certain extent. But like, realistically, it's, I mean, if the personality fit isn't there, like, a lot of people can do a lot of different things, and it's just a matter of like, do you enjoy each other enough to like, do you enjoy each other enough and also like trust each other enough to, or do you feel like you could build a trust with this person? Because obviously at one meeting you don't necessarily trust someone, but like, you can get a general idea of like, is this person potentially trustworthy? If
For example, would you personally work with that individual?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So.
No, that's a good way to put it. To put yourself in the other person's shoes, or like the client's shoes. Like, would you want to work with him as an agent, or would you want to work with him as a lender? Whatever way it might be. But that's a good way to look at it. I don't think I've ever done that. Is look at it as like a personal transaction myself.
Sure.
Like, am I gonna actually, would I use you as my lender? Like, do I trust you enough to actually help me buy a house? Because if I trust them, then my clients better trust them.
Right. And they will most likely get that same impression when establishing that relationship instead of, if you're not getting the right vibe, that's definitely a red flag.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, let's kind of step away from the business a little bit. Let's. What's your guys' favorite restaurant in the state of Minnesota? There's a lot of really good restaurants.
There's a lot of really good ones.
That there is.
I got a couple. Can I only pick one?
No, you can pick as many as you want. Shout them out.
So
get them to sponsor us.
I would say when thinking about statewide, the first one that comes to mind is Billy Sushi. My wife and I love going to Billy Sushi. Great experience. The staff they're always awesome. The food is incredible. I mean, higher end sushi spot, but worth every penny in my book. They're in North Loop. And I'd say, secondly, shout out to Prior Lake, where I live. That's where I'm from, South Metro. Sul Lago. It's kind of a Italian bistro. You can have steak. You can have the best pasta. Go there, get a bottle of wine, you and the wife, or a couple, whatever.
Some lemonade for me.
Lemonade, sparkling water, something like that.
Lemonade.
Yeah. So that's a great spot. I love going there, but I'd also say I'm a big pizza guy. Kind of a pizza snob.
Okay. Dave
Love
Portnoy or like
Yeah, pizza reviews. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
love the pizza reviews. Young Joni's, and I like Lola's. Lola's is in Edina. Young Joni's is right in Minneapolis, right around Minneapolis. So good spots.
Those are some good answers. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
absolutely. I don't
Brett's
think
a McDonald's guy.
I was gonna say, is Culver's an answer? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
That's
not
Wisconsin, right?
Well, yeah. I'm probably not as cultured as Nick. I have a couple spots that.
Oh, Chick-fil-A, sorry.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A
of
is
course.
fire though. Like,
Yeah, sure.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, if we're talking like fast food chicken, like Cane's, but like
Really, I'm a Popeyes guy. See,
I'm a Cane's over.
we have 3 different options here.
Really?
I go Chick-fil-A, we have Popeyes,
Really?
and we have Cane's.
spicy
that
chicken
could be a
sandwich.
whole different conversation, but
That could be a whole nother podcast. Let's be honest.
Oh,
Like,
I have one place in my mind that, because I was talking to somebody else about this. I think my brother and one other guy, just because I think we're gonna go sometime soon. But it is the best pizza in Minnesota, and it's a place in Uptown, and it's called Beluto. And if you've never had Beluto,
I've never had
you
Beluto.
have to have Beluto, because it is seriously the best pizza I've ever had, like in Minnesota.
really? Have you had Beluto?
No, but
What?
what came to mind there? What's that spot in Nisswa?
Oh, Rafferty's.
Rafferty's. Shout out Rafferty's Pizza
Rafferty's.
in Nisswa.
Really?
Fire.
Oh, it's so
Fire.
good. I think that's my brother's probably all-time favorite pizza spot.
That's a
'cause-
top fiver for me for restaurants in Minnesota.
Yeah, there's
Really?
2. There's one in, I think, Baxter and one in Nisswa.
Yeah,
And
we're talking up north.
oh yeah, we're
Jeez.
talking way up north, but it's like iconic.
Better than Zorba's?
Wow, and that's the thing.
Zorba's is good when you're had a lot of lemonade.
Yeah, when you have a lot of lemonade, you need some Zorbas. But yeah, I think if we're talking up north pizza, I think Rafferty's.
Really?
Oh, they
is
take the
all-time.
cake for up north pizza.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm going
Yeah.
up north next week, and I'm gonna have to try to see if I can find that and do that.
I mean, it's downtown Nisswa, so like
Yeah.
it's like one of the big attractions right across from like the Chocolate Ox. And,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, all that good stuff. So
Dude, I love up north in the summertime. You can't beat it.
it's the best. Being
I don't mind it in the winter too. I think it's pretty fun in the wintertime.
Especially if you
true.
get slides and stuff, like
Yeah.
if you're snowmobiling.
Go up to
Oh,
like
yeah.
Grandview Lodge. You can stay a
Mhm.
weekend, have a good time.
Ice fish.
Pool, hot tub, ice fish. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
all the activities you want. It's
Yeah,
nice.
course.
yeah. I'm gonna go steakhouse. I'm gonna go Baltimore. Ever been to Baltimore?
Never.
In Roseville.
No.
No.
Really
Ooh.
good steakhouse. Really good steakhouse.
Oh,
I just
okay.
actually took. It's one of the places I bring my past clients. After we do a deal, is I give them 2 options. We can either go to dinner, and it's not going to be like Applebee's. We're going to either like Manny's Steakhouse or like we're going
Yeah,
somewhere fancy, like
of
somewhere that
course.
you're not usually going to go. Like I want to thank you guys for trusting me to help you do a transaction, or I offer them a house party, like a housewarming party.
Mhm.
Send me all your friends' contact information. I'll set it all up. I'll send out invites. I'll provide the lemonade. I'll provide the food. And we'll just have everyone come, and
Love
I just
that.
get to meet their family and have a good time. And they really appreciate it. So that's kind of something I do to help my
Which
past
choice do your clients usually pick?
dinner most of the time. So far, it's only been dinner. But I'm waiting for someone to pick that home housewarming party, because that
Yeah.
sounds fun. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
No, I've seen that. I've seen agents do that in the past too, where they will help cater. I mean, whatever it is. Maybe they
Yeah.
cater Chipotle for a
Chick-fil-A.
house, Chick-fil-A, whatever it is.
Pancheros?
Pancheros.
Pancheros. This guy got me on Pancheros, and I can never have
He introduced
Chipotle.
me too. Yeah.
Oh
I've
my
never been
God.
until just
Yeah.
recently.
Please sponsor me, Pancheros.
I went to Chipotle the other day, and I was like, this is just not even, like, I don't even want to eat this.
just not
It's not the same.
And it sucks because there's not a Pancheros near me.
Yeah.
I gotta like go down by your house.
Yeah, Golden
Like,
Valley might be the closest one to you.
Yeah.
Which is sad. And it's good for me because I go there all the time.
Oh, dude, I bet I would.
And it's, for anyone that's never had Pancheros that's maybe listening, the real difference in Pancheros to like Chipotle, the ingredients itself, I think Chipotle probably still does have a slight edge maybe, but it's close. But it's the tortilla.
Oh, it's
the
the
tortilla
tortilla.
makes that much of a difference because it's fresh pressed. They put it on the grill. It's like, it's
You know what's
so
weird?
good.
I don't care for the fresh press or grill on the tortilla. I just want a plain old tortilla.
You just like Chipotle's, just like dry
Just
tortillas.
plain Jane. Yep.
All right.
You want
that's
to know a
fair.
few weird fun facts about Brett? So big food guy, right? He will come to work. He doesn't eat breakfast. Doesn't eat lunch.
Really?
The guy's like a 1 meal a day kind of guy.
What kind of meal are we eating? Like a 6-course meal?
Oh
like?
yeah, no, we're eating.
Goes hard.
This is a 2,500 to 3,000 calorie meal.
Yeah, have you ever seen like The Rock cheat days? That's
Yeah.
bread every night.
I bet you I could.
It's like the Liver King. Like that's your dinner.
Oh yeah,
Like,
of course.
But you're not eating bone marrow and you know,
Yeah,
The only
Cow
thing
nuts.
Brett drinks is water. Nothing else.
that's true.
Ever.
That's true. I save a
Lemonade?
lot of money, and I mean the whole not eating thing is probably not super healthy, but like it's intermittent fasting, so I could probably get away with it for now. Like I'm not like I'm just like sitting. I just get busy, and like my thing is I get busy. It's the middle of the day, and all of a sudden it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I'm like, well.
I need to eat.
I can survive for 3 more hours.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is I'm like, well, maybe I'm a little bit hungry, but I could survive a couple hours. And be
Yeah.
fine. Like and I just don't
Dude,
think
I
about
couldn't
it.
do it.
Dude,
No
I
way.
can't. Like, I go to the gym in the morning.
Yep.
5 a.m., 5 to 6:30, I'm in the gym. Like, I need to get some food in me after
Oh,
that.
for
Because I
sure.
just, like,
Big
grind in. And it's usually, like, scrambled eggs with ham and, like,
Mhm.
sausage, bacon, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm eating good. And
Start
then,
calling you Liver King.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I would eat red meat every day of the week. Like,
Of course.
which is bad, but that's probably that hunter in me. You probably get
There we
that
go.
too, you know, that summer
yeah.
sausage.
Little
Like,
venison.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, no. Then I come here and I eat like chips, and I'm like, damn, I was doing so good. And then like 11 a.m. hits, and I'm like, damn, I'm eating like shit again. Like,
Yeah. See,
so
yeah, and that's the thing is, I'm like, if I'm gonna eat something, like I don't, I'm so bad at like meal prepping.
oh, it's so hard.
It's so hard to do consistently, and I have 3 roommates who also use the kitchen, so it's like I come home, one of them is making dinner, and then I wait until they're done, and someone else is taking over. I'm like, well,
Shit.
looks like I'm eating out again.
Pancheros.
Pan-
Single guy, you can get away with that though.
Right, and especially when it's
Yeah.
only 1 meal a day.
Dude, I'm
I can get away
falling-
with it
I'm-
too.
I
so.
figured like this is starting to really cut in having a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Dude, it's cutting
Priorities,
into the funds
man. Yeah,
quickly.
Wow.
I was like, jeez. I used to be able to eat out 4 times a week and spend like $50. Now
But
it's
it's
like
an
$200, and it was only one other person.
Dude, you
like,
should see my grocery bills with 3 kids.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
My wife and I have 3 kids. We spend so much money.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
out to eat. Like you said, it used to be cheap, whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's
like, holy
ridiculous.
shit.
I mean, just wait until they're full grown, like actual, like eating out the adult menu. Right now, it's like
Yeah.
you know you can still get away with the kids menu. And
Some
at least
like
it's,
Kraft mac and cheese and like 2 chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we're going back to ramen noodles.
and now it's like then all of a sudden they're all gonna be 10 to 15 years old, and you're gonna be like, dang, everyone's eating steaks now.
Do you guys
burgers.
remember being that age, like 15, 16, 17, where you would eat everything?
Oh, yeah.
You were never full, at least for me. Like, I would
Oh,
eat
yeah.
so much.
Yeah, because I think that's when
Nonstop.
like
I
you're
think-
most active too. Like we were all doing like high school sports, and
yeah.
so it's like you're basically after school like nonstop, like
And then you
active.
get home and you just
Oh, just
anything that's in your sight is
oh, yeah,
gone.
just hammer it all.
Yeah.
I feel like my problem would be like I'd eat a bunch, I'd get hungry, and then like 5 minutes later I'd be like, dude, I'm kind of hungry. Like I want to
Right.
eat something.
Nonstop. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is exactly how it is. I got another question for you guys. This is a curious one because it fluctuates in our office even. But like, what time of the day are you guys most productive? I'm a big morning guy. Like I said, I get up at the gym. You know, I get here by 8:30, and I get most of my work done from 8:30 to 1, and then showings at night, whatever it might be. But you know, 9:30, 10 p.m. comes around, like I'm probably laying in bed watching Family Guy, and I'm gonna doze off.
Yeah, for sure.
What's
I'm a morning guy,
Yep.
big time morning guy. I'm up by 5 every single morning,
Yep.
usually between 4:30 and 5. I like to get in a workout. My kids are up at 6, so I get up, get the coffee rolling, get in my workout, and that's kind of my time to decompress, get my head straight. It's kind of stress relieving, I would say, and I feel like $1,000,000 afterwards, right? And I'd say I'm most productive from that time through, I don't know, probably midday,
Yeah.
and then I mean, I'm still as productive as I can be the remainder, but my energy levels are definitely the highest early on, first half of the day. I used to be an evening, night guy, be up late, sleep in kind of thing, and that all changed when
you have a
got
kid?
married,
Yeah.
kids, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're up late, like your kid's going to be up early in the morning and you got to get up and take care of
Yeah.
everything. So like that, I don't know if you'd call it a maturation process, but that quickly shifted from, say, being a night owl to a early bird, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't get up as early as Nick does. I get up early-ish, and I I don't know. I like to just relax in the morning, but I think I am probably most productive from like morning to like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And then like, I mean, it totally depends on like what the day looks like, I guess. Like,
yeah.
It feels like I'm just like more hyper focused for like the first. I mean, and I think that's kind of like psychologically it makes sense to a certain extent. Like, I mean, you can only be so hammer focused for so long,
right.
like, and then you maybe need a break, and that's probably why like people go on lunch breaks. But I forget to do that, so.
Yeah. Well, you just don't eat too, like that happens.
That's true. Yeah, and so like I sometimes like lose focus, and so I think sometimes I just take like a quick mental break, go like walk around. Like the nice thing is like the great part is like people in our office are like always around, so I don't know. I don't want to like distract people, but like if a couple other people are talking about something, like it's nice to go take a 10-minute just like go talk to someone for 10 minutes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
You need little breaks throughout the day.
yeah,
No doubt.
100%.
and so that's kind of how we do things. But I think, like I said, morning would be like my most like I know like mentally that's when I'm most like focused. So
Yeah, 100%.
Would you say you're more introverted or extroverted?
I go so back and forth because I feel like I get energy from being with people, but I also am like I really enjoy. I feel like I need my time to just like relax and like recharge essentially. And so I always thought I was extroverted just because I love people. I like being around people, but like I would probably call myself an introvert at this point who has like extroverted tendencies from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very similar in that sense and I think that's why I'm best in like say the first half of the day because I love the energy, love being around people and that kind of raises my level of productivity. Like for example, if I had to work out in my basement, that would be miserable. Like during COVID, that time frame was challenging for me.
That was tough.
But in our line of work, we're always talking to people on the phone or having meetings, stuff like that. So, I have a couple meetings, whether it's with buyers or business partners, whatever it may be, and it kind of drains me throughout the day in a sense. And when I regain my energy or kind of recharge, that's when I have like small windows by myself. But I think that's an introverted tendency. But I think that may be why that may be the reason why I'm more of a morning person, I guess you could say, as well. It aligns nicely.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with that. Like I love hanging out with people and stuff, but at night, like, no. I'm ready
8
to just
o'clock,
be by myself.
It's dark outside.
Do whatever it be. Whether it's edit podcasts or research some new way to generate leads.
Of course.
That's my time to just kind of research and be away from people. But people are always calling, so you're always on the phone.
Always got to be ready.
But yeah, that's believe it or not, we're almost at 50 minutes.
Dang, flying through.
That's
flies.
crazy.
It flies.
It does.
Yeah, I told you guys, like, it just happens.
It just happens.
But let's jump into the draft.
All
so
right.
this is something I do at the end of all my podcasts. Is we do a draft. We've done Thanksgiving draft, Christmas song draft. That was a really Christmas song draft. There is so many good Christmas songs. Didn't even realize.
There's a lot of bangers out there.
We did 5 each, and afterwards we were like, oh, we forgot about that one and that one. It was just like couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
It's a fun little thing that we do that I do here on the Fireside Chat podcast. But this week, since we were talking about relationships, meeting with lenders or whatever it might be, we're going to be talking about the best places to have business meetings.
Love that.
So, let's see.
Who starts the draft?
Yeah, let's pick a number 1 through 5.
Who's picking it?
Both you guys.
Okay.
We have to say it at the same time.
Yep. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
2.
3. Who said 3?
I said 3.
Yep.
Cheater.
Okay, you got first
Cheater.
pick.
Okay.
Nick, I'll give
Rigged.
you 2.
Okay.
And I'll go last.
All right. And we little snake draft action. So boom and then back.
So when you
it
say
just goes
best,
Oh, okay.
when you say best place for business meetings,
Yep.
what are we referring to? Is it best for like most enjoyable or most conducive?
Whatever your heart desires.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. Just
I mean,
best places to have a
some
business
rules,
meeting.
but
I mean, not like in bed. That'd be kind of weird. But
Yeah, that's
whatever.
my favorite spot.
whatever makes your heart happy, I guess.
there you go.
Brady and I are going on a business meeting after that.
Drink some lemonade. Oh man. All right. So I feel like the top option, probably the place I have the most business meetings is Starbucks. You know, if we're talking coffee shops, like
Yeah,
there's about
it's
100,000 Starbucks in the Minneapolis area. You know, every
I wonder how many there actually
every
is.
quarter mile there's a Starbucks. So it's like
Dude,
if you
it
need,
feels like it.
and like, you know, there are other coffee options, but like, let's be honest, if we're talking like the biggest and the most, you know, where people are the most, Starbucks just is, you know, feels like the number one.
Right.
I don't know, man.
I mean, who's to say?
That's probably, yeah, I mean, most common for sure.
I
Right.
respect it. Starbucks is solid,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, number 2 choice, I think I just got to lead off that with the Caribou coffee. You know,
did
it's
way
just
better.
like,
Way better.
And don't get me wrong, I feel like I like Caribou more,
110%.
but
It's a red flag when a
I'm more
loan
of a
officer
Starbucks
tells
guy.
me, let's go to Starbucks. Red flag. Right off the
we're
bat.
done. We're not even eating. That's
I was
it.
gonna say, well, we've never even been to a coffee shop.
Yeah,
so
we
we're-
haven't.
I was gonna say, we went to the golf course.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
So that's mine.
I had a
I'm gonna
feeling-
pick golf course.
You know, I had a feeling you were gonna say it, which is why I wasn't afraid to say it out loud.
It's
I knew-
a great place.
I
and,
knew it was coming.
You know,
So-
whether it's 9 holes or 18 holes, you're spending at least 2 hours with this guy. And
Mhm.
you know, golf. Tell me you're not gonna bring out the
Oh, yeah.
true person in yourself when you're playing golf. Like
Right.
I think it's a
Oh,
great way to
absolutely.
truly understand who you're going to be working with. So,
Do you usually go 9 or 18? Business meeting, first time
just
meeting?
18.
Yeah, we just do 18.
Yeah.
That ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, 18 is all I've done with loan officers.
nice.
With Brett, really. So.
True. We went twice, and Blake
Yeah.
came with us once.
Yeah, you did.
It was
Yeah.
a good time.
Who's a better
He-
golfer between you 3?
Brady by far. When we played the first time, Brady hit like a 400-yard drive.
Yeah, I did.
Down-
Guys
Oh
built
my
for
God.
power. Look at him.
Downhill,
dude,
downwind, like hit past the hole.
Yeah,
like,
that was. I
it was
forgot
a
about-
par 4 down. Like the tee boxes were up a little bit, but like it was like a 400-ish, or it was like a 380 yard
Yeah.
par 4, like downhill, downwind. I think I drove the green.
You just rolled up onto the
I
green.
rolled up on the green, and Brady comes up after and just hits it over.
And I was like, oh, that's going to be really good. And then it doesn't bounce
Just
on the
kept
green.
carrying.
It just was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
And there's people back there.
Yeah,
and we're
'cause
like,
the tee box.
"Four," like-
Well, the tee box was like 30 yards behind the green. I'm like, that's like 410 yards.
Yeah.
He was on the tee box.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Just
crazy.
a bomb.
Yeah. That
All
was that's my, yeah, I do that a lot. Golf is golf.
That's awesome.
It's round 2.
All right, round 2. You know, I'm gonna go similar answer where we met and where we all met, I suppose.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Top Golf. Now, Top
good
Golf is
answer.
it's basically golf, but like
Bowling.
it's like bowling golf. It's
Social
like
golf.
just a social golf. You know,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. You know, whether you like golf or not, Top Golf is just, you know, you go and you have fun, hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
I mean, they have food there, they have lemonade, and you know,
Lots of lemonade.
lots of lemonade, and so like you just have a good time. It's a great place to
Yeah, that's
to
where we
have
met.
meetings. Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
even know how that was set up.
Tyler and I,
Yeah,
Perfect.
T-Money.
T-Money.
Money.
Yeah, that was
Sure.
that was like one of the. I don't even think I was licensed yet.
I don't think so. You were, yeah, I think you got licensed like 3 weeks later.
Yep.
Good times.
Those freaking tests, man.
Mm,
23
No
tests
fun.
failed, but that's fine. I'm here now.
that's true.
I would say my pick is Kyoto Sushi. I've met at Sushi a few times for business meetings. That's where I met Tyler Miller.
Ooh.
We grabbed lunch at a sushi spot.
Nice.
I don't remember if it was Kyoto or not, but
Sushi.
that's my favorite sushi spot to run out to.
Okay, the
Sushi's-
sushi joint.
Sushi's good.
Mm.
I wasn't really a fan of sushi until a little while ago, and then I started kind of trying it, and I was
Starting
like,
to dabble.
"Damn, this is good."
Yeah.
There's good sushi out there, that's for sure. If you don't like
Yeah.
sushi, you're not trying the right sushi.
It's true.
I'm gonna go with Brick and Bourbon. Ever been there to Maple Grove?
Never been.
don't
Heard
think
good
so.
things.
It's a really just cool, unique restaurant. I've been there a couple times, and I was like, this is legit.
I like that.
So if you guys ever have a chance to go Brick and Bourbon, I really recommend it. Good place.
I like it.
Yeah, that's actually the place I sat down with my co-host, Fireside Chat, Brady Bunch Shoots the Shit. That's where we started the podcast.
Really?
It was there. That's where we
Wow,
started putting
Brick
it
and
together.
Bourbon. Nice.
So hopefully one day we'll have a podcast with like the owner or something. That'd be cool.
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
really
Damn, I just
cool.
came up with a good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to start doing that.
True.
Last pick.
Oh man.
Dude,
last
we're running
pick.
out. Like,
I know. Like, at this point we're kind of picking like even like specific spots.
Yeah.
And I had one spot. I'm just trying to think if there is another good spot that I can think of.
Around the clock.
I'm gonna go with a spot that I know is a favorite. I'm actually switching mentally an answer. It's a favorite of actually a lot of people. I've met here a number of times. There's two of them now. And there's one right by our office.
Oh, you dog.
Fragment Coffee.
You dog.
And so there's one in the North Loop that I've met a number of people at before. And that was like the original Fragment Coffee, like big time coffee shop. I think that's in like the WeWork space.
Wow.
And so there's that one, but now there's one in Eden Prairie that I've met a couple, I've met at a couple different times for, just a couple different people. I know a lot of people in our office just because it's so close. We'll go there all of the time. And so, like I said, I had a couple places in mind, but I can't. The coffee shop is hard to beat, because it's
Classic. Easy
It's
place to
classic.
meet.
Yeah,
classic.
right?
Absolutely.
You get some
Casual.
coffee, start in the morning,
Everybody loves coffee. Well, most people, besides Brad.
I was gonna say, I drink nice water. Hot
Coffee,
chocolate.
lemonade.
I'll drink coffee sometimes. Not really.
I'd say my final pick, shout out to Prior Lake again, Edelweiss Bakery. They have the best breakfast sandwiches ever.
Oh.
Great coffee, and it's just a nice, quiet, cute little place right downtown. Very underrated hidden gem.
Nice.
I'm not kidding. Breakfast sandwiches, the best you'll ever have.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah.
Prior Lake.
Yeah.
Dude, he is cultured.
He is cultured.
Very
Very
Nick is
cultured.
very cultured. He's a cultured man. He's a married man, 3 kids.
That's what happens.
He's been around.
Yeah.
He's seen a
Someday,
thing or two.
fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Not anytime soon for this guy.
Same here.
There's a couple options, like you said. It's hard to pick one,
Mm-hmm.
but I've met you here, Brett.
Mm.
Pancheros. It's coming back, man.
We gotta bring
Pancheros,
Pancheros back.
baby.
It's hard
it's
to beat.
just because it's anytime I can meet anyone in an area that's around Pancheros, I'm gonna say let's meet at Pancheros.
Totally.
I like that.
It's a must.
I like that.
Hey, I
I
get
don't
it.
get it enough.
I get
don't
it.
get it.
I understand.
But no, I
Good.
love that. Brett, you got Starbucks, Topgolf, Fragment Coffee. We got Nick with Caribou, your sushi place and your bakery place. Just super
Boom. Feeling
cultured.
good about
I
that.
just
Very
can't believe
cultured.
that. And then I
Yeah.
got Golf Course, Brick and Bourbon, and Pancheros.
Yeah.
You guys ever been to Annabelle House Coffee Shop in Maple or Osseo? It's
Nope.
another really
I've heard
nice,
of it, but-
another nice coffee shop that I've
Nice.
done a couple times. So
Hmm.
that was kind of my other one that I was thinking of.
I was gonna say, I think I had, I was thinking of like a Brugger's or like
Yeah.
Panera, stuff, people
Panera.
love.
You know, I was thinking as a Tavern 23, happy hour.
Yeah, I was gonna
Kind
say
of
like
meeting,
a
that was
brewery type of
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Right.
that could be good.
Yeah.
More of like a summertime for me than a
Right.
winter time.
Yeah.
Those are good
Yeah.
spots.
It's hard to be happy in the winter here sometimes.
It is.
So that's kind of where we kind of wrap things up. Do you
It's been
guys
a good talk.
Do you guys have
Yeah.
any questions for me?
Love what
Nothing?
you're doing, brother.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate it, yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you having us on.
Dude, it's a blast. Like I
Yeah.
said, we're gonna have to get you and your brother on soon.
Dude, that'd be fun. He would
Yeah.
love
Nalter.
that.
Nalter Deeds.
Nalter Deeds, yeah. That's his screen name.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
That's
I
the
said-
original YouTube name.
I watched one of his YouTube videos. Dude, I love those.
Are you talking about the Fun Across
Yeah,
America?
Fun Across America,
Oh,
dude.
He would love to talk more about that because he's basically just.
I got to run the restroom, fellas.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
I'm not
dude.
going to make it any longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
fair
thank
enough.
you, man.
No, but yeah, he's doing that, and he loves it. He would love to come on here and talk about that
Dude.
because he's just going and traveling around and there's sweet spots,
Dude, for real.
And it actually does give me actual TV vibes,
It does, yeah.
because you do a couple of those in an episode, and you do a 15-minute, you do 2 or 3 an episode or something like that where it's
Yeah.
30 minutes, I think that's kind of and he's working with someone who's helping him produce it. I think he's just they came to him and were like, we want you to host it.
Oh,
And
really?
so
Damn.
yeah, so it's kind of a sweet situation. I bet you he would love to come talk more about
Dude,
it,
I
or
would love
and
that.
everything he's doing as well. But
Dude, he kills it. He's
Yeah.
filmed a couple videos for us.
oh yeah, he's the man,
Dude, I love his studio too. Maybe we'll do the podcast there,
dude.
Up in his
that'd
studio?
be sweet. That'd be
yeah.
awesome.
and we'll actually get a good camera that time, and then people can see that the phone isn't the best.
Ah,
Someday, guys, let me make some more money.
the phone works well.
It's
I mean,
working well. It is.
It's always looked good. I've always thought your clips look good.
Yeah,
I
dude, the
mean,
clips look They look solid.
I think the audio piece is really the most important part.
Audio is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice.
It's so nice.
So many people listen to this probably on their car. If you're driving right now, hopefully you're not going over the speed limit. But if you are, I probably am too. So it's okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, that's kind of where we wrap things up. What do you think about it? I kind of always ask that people that's been on the podcast.
You know, we talked about it. I've never done a podcast.
Yeah.
I've always talked. I talked with my roommate about doing podcasts. I've had roommates who have like produced and kind of made some podcasts too. But I've never been on a podcast, never done one, and so I definitely think it's an experience I would love to do again sometime.
Dude, it's fun. Time flies, and if you guys are like, no way, time flies. Like,
right.
Hop on.
Oh.
Like, I would be more than happy to have you on the podcast because it's a good time.
It's a great
Welcome
time.
back.
Would recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. I was just asking Brett here what his thoughts were on the podcast. I kind of asked that with everybody. Kind of
Still
what?
rolling?
Yeah. What's kind of your final thoughts on?
Love the podcast.
Yeah.
I think value for you is you can really get to know people in this industry much better and have a legitimate, intimate conversation with them. And kind of like as far as questions you ask and things like that, you can tailor it to the individual.
Yep.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. It could be good. I think this can be very productive from a marketing standpoint, and it's fun to do. Like this is legitimately fun. Like I would love to come back and do this again.
Dude, yeah. Maybe we could try to get Tyler to hop on, or someone like that, or who else? Get Oliver.
Hey,
Oliver White.
There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's a big name in the mortgage industry. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think
that guy works hard.
I was gonna say we're moving offices next week, so we had to be out by Tuesday.
Wow.
We're moving 3 minutes away.
That's not awful.
So yeah, we're going from, we have the first, second, and 6th floor right now in our building to just the full 9th floor. Everyone going to be on one floor
at the new office.
At the new office. It's going to be awesome. Both him and our, he's the yin, and then another guy named Tom is the yang of the office. And so both of them kind of want like a studio almost, like maybe like a table, something like this, like with some microphones, to have something where like people can do videos, people can do social media stuff or podcast type stuff. Yeah. And so if we have something like that, you can come. We can do some interesting stuff in our office too.
Me and Tyler have talking about it. One of these suites in this building here is available, and I'm like, we should just turn that into a content curation room. Throw a green screen up in there, or just like have. Because you guys saw it takes me a little bit to set everything up. But
not very long, a few minutes.
I'm going home tonight to film a podcast, and like I'm doing one this weekend somewhere else. Like I'm mobile, but if I had one just set up, it would be nice to just be able to bring people there.
For sure. You can just plug and play.
Yeah, and it's like when I get some of the bigger names on my Brady Bunch Shoots the Shit podcast, it's tough to ask a bigger name like, "Hey, come to my house." It's a little weird, right? If I'm asking, I've reached out to every single Minnesota Viking player, Wild player, and Twins player. I've DM'd them all. Yeah. No one's got back to me. But if someone gets back to me and I got to say, hey, let's come to my house and film a podcast, they're never going to respond again. So it's like I got to try to figure out a better way to go about that.
You should have told me. I saw Justin Jefferson. I was like arm's length away from him the other day.
You should have.
It wasn't the other day. It was like a year ago. But
I was gonna say, what were you doing?
I was at the Wolves game. Like I was closer than this.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Went with you. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah,
that was sweet.
If you guys know anyone like
get
that,
on Brady's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I mean, I got connections
you do,
to
man.
Wolves
I gotta maybe try to get Straight Candid on the podcast or be on their podcast.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know them at all, but we did meet them.
We met them.
That's true, and they're pretty big time.
I mean, they got like 130,000 followers or something like that. Yeah.
They're crazy, and the guy who produces it, Sarby, he's the one that kind of shares the office with my brother. He's got his own podcast too, and they're doing really well.
Yeah, dude. I follow him on Instagram. He's got some banger of some reels. Like they're funny. Like
he's hilarious, and I like barely know him, but like a couple times I met him, you can just tell like the guy smart, funny, and like just kind of knows what he's doing. So
yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate you guys coming, taking the time out of our busy days with this crazy market that we've kind of starting to see.
Absolutely,
we're in for a big year.
Yeah, we are. We really are. I'm pumped for it. So hopefully we can get some business done here soon, and I appreciate you guys coming on, and let's hope we can do it again here sometime soon.
Thank you.
All right,
appreciate
sounds
it,
good.
brother.
Peace out, guys.